Guys, Bill Cormales Jr. from Modern Baseball Art. I'm just here to talk. I got some pretty cool mail yesterday. Not the mail I was actually talking about, but mail I was expecting nonetheless. And it's from my friend Tad. Hey, what's up, Alf? What's up, Billy Myers? Some of the relationships that I've made on Instagram turned into more than just DMs and stuff like that. And a guy named Tad Richardson, he's a really cool guy. He's in the Washington area, and he makes some pretty cool things. And he made this one for me right here. This is Alf, you're gonna dig this, dude. Okay, so you see that. All right, obviously Will Clark is my favorite dude, and man, back in the old days when you wanted to vote your guy into an all-star game, you had to poke out that little Chad right there and put it in an actual ballot box. And so Tad, whatever reason, saved those things for all these years, and now he's making card art with those ballots, and he figures out a way to expose the ballot. Wow, sorry for all the glare, but it is what it is. Ballot on the back of the card. So Tad, thanks. He's on Instagram at Curveball Keepsakes, and he makes some really cool things. He might be one of the first people I ever traded with via Instagram, and he takes MLB authenticated baseballs, he tears them apart, and he makes a jewelry out of it. So I traded him a Tony Gwynn hoodie for a necklace that is made out of a baseball that was it was like hit by Cody Bellinger, and it's authenticated. So that stuff is pretty cool, and now he's making card art. And Tad is he's like me. He's pretty passionate about the Negro Leagues and the preservation of the history of it. And it was like last year he spearheaded a Negro League baseball art fundraiser for the Negro League Baseball Museum. And that just takes a lot of heart. Tad's got a really big heart. So thanks, Tad, for being you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for adding to the Clark collection. And something else I got in the mail, and this one I really wasn't expecting, but I'll put his name in the comments or whatever it is, but he goes by Abe Vigoda, and he sent me a couple things out of the blue, and that's one. He knows I like Ted Williams, and this artist here is named Dave Choate. I don't exactly know if that's how you pronounce the name, but he does some pretty cool stylized art, and that's the kid right there. And then he sent me these cards. Damn, look at that glare. Oof, that is bad. But whatever. Baseball card, Will Clark. Oh, and Tad sent me this one along with that Will Clark right there. So that's cool. People send me stuff. Now, I don't know if any of you guys remember what books are, but this is a book. You see that? Pages, stuff to look at. Well, I was given these books by a friend of mine named Ryan, who goes way, way back with me. And it's a whole set of baseball books. It basically goes from early baseball right until when the series was made, and I believe that was like 1989 or 1990 or something like that. But man, there's some really, really great stuff in here. Babe Ruth, look at that dude. Him and his lady and his kid. Babe Ruth and his pops working the bar. How many times you ever seen that picture before? And look at that dude couldn't deny Babe Ruth is his kid. That man like a spitting image of his dad. Anyways, this book is really awesome, and the pages and stuff in here are like, it's just, I mean, birth of the Negro Leagues. It's talking about it back then. Look at the beautiful picture. So, yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what. I'm on, my next step is to start scanning some of these pages and using them in the card art. I need to make a lot more Negro League baseball art. It's part of, if anybody knows anything about me, I'm really big on it, and it doesn't get enough attention paid to it, so that's kind of like why I do it. And the inspiration for all of my Negro League artwork started from those books. That page that was right there with the Negro Leagues, that was where the inspiration came from. Now, I wanted to read that part about the Negro Leagues, and of course I lose the page, but we'll find it again. And I wanted to read that while I put the camera on a picture of Josh Gibson that I painted. Now, the reason I want to put the picture on Josh Gibson is, I mean, I didn't even know where I was headed when I painted that. It's just I started painting it. Don't mind me. I'm looking down. I'm just trying to find that page with the Negro Leagues. And I'm just gonna jibber jabber until I get there. I didn't know where I was headed with that, and I don't know. When I seek inspiration artistically, I just do it. So it might be the one most ambitious thing that I do, and I don't ever like really wait and procrastinate on, is making art. Ooh, wow! But I never jumped out of a plane or anything. Anyhow. So this book has provided a lot of inspiration. I wanted to read this part, but I also was going to have the camera pointed towards my Josh Gibson painting, which was the first one out of the series. And so don't mind the woo with the camera and stuff, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Oh, and that's the Will Clark shrine. I mean, geez Louise, what am I, 6? So anyways, I'm going to go point the camera over to the... What, you want to see some other art? Oh, my face. So we're going to turn this bad boy around. It won't let me give you the whole thing and be able to see anything, so maybe I'll move it closer, maybe I won't. Light's kind of weird, but like I said, this is just trying to do something different, show you that. Now, there's things you can see in there. I don't paint anything really blatant. I try to hide things and put stuff over stuff and kind of make the viewer actually dive into the painting if they want to see anything. So while that's on there, I'm gonna read that excerpt from the book. But hey, thanks, man. I appreciate the compliment. Yeah, well, hold on. So, like, just turn your camera sideways. That's all I can really turn your camera the way you can see it, and hopefully, let's see. If you turn it, can you see it right? Why is this moving? Don't move. All right, so I'm gonna just read that, and you can look. Why is that damn thing not staying straight? All right, just hang tight. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, I like I feel like the only other way to really remedy this is to pre-tape it, and dude, if I have to sit there and map out all kinds of pre-produced things, I'm gonna screw myself, because going on the fly is a little bit easier for me, doing something that I'm not super comfortable doing. So anyways, just stare at that Josh Gibson painting. I'm going to read from this. This is called The Birth of the Negro Leagues. And here it is. So the 1920s were the golden age of baseball. But the glitter was tarnished by the fact that some of the best players in the nation weren't allowed to play in the major leagues. While black athletes were forced to play in segregated leagues, the decade was a golden one for Negro baseball as well. From the time blacks were forced out of organized baseball in the late 1880s until the formation of the first Negro League in 1920, black professionals played on a number of independent teams that survived by barnstorming, playing against white semi-professional, professional, and off-season Major League All-Star teams. Teams were at the mercy of white booking agents who controlled access to stadiums, and efforts to organize black teams into stable leagues failed in 1906 and 1910. Then along came Andrew Rube Foster, a great pitcher in his playing days. Foster became a player manager in 1907, and by 1901, he was part owner, with John Shorling, the son-in-law of Chicago White Sox owner Charlie Comiskey of the Chicago American Giants. The Giants had the best players, the best salaries, and the best stadium of any Negro teams in the 1910s, and the best manager. Foster was considered a baseball genius and is given credit for teaching Christy Mathewson his famous fadeaway pitch, as well as for being a confidant of New York Giants manager John McGraw. Foster's vision extended far beyond mere team ownership. In February 1920, tired of dependence on booking agents and bidding wars with white-owned Eastern teams for top players, he and the owners of other Midwestern Negro teams organized the Negro National League. The league consisted of Foster's Chicago American Giants, the Chicago Giants, the St. Louis Giants, the Detroit Stars, the Taylor ABCs, the Cuban Stars, and the Kansas City Monarchs. Foster was reluctant to admit the Monarchs, a white-owned team, but he knew they were key to the league's success. Inspired by Foster's creation, several Southern independent teams were formed in the Southern Negro League in 1920. The league was denied the opportunity to play lucrative exhibitions against white teams and lost many of its top players to the Negro National League and the Eastern Colored League, which was formed in 1923 by booking agent Nat Strong. Despite some success, Negro leagues were far from stable in the 1920s. Since barnstorming provided many teams with a large share of their income, consistent scheduling was difficult, although the NNL drew 400,000 paying customers in 1923. Then in 1926, Foster fell ill and was forced to retire. He died in 1930, and in the face of the Great Depression and the loss of his leadership, the NNL folded in 1931, formed again in 1933, and lasted until the major leagues integrated in the 1940s. Before Foster's vision of a Negro National League died, it played host to a landmark achievement in the history of the game. In 1921, J.L. Wilkinson went into debt to pay for a portable lighting system for night games, thereby enabling his Kansas City Monarchs to play under the lights 6 years before night baseball came to the major leagues. Today, in the Hall of Fame honors the best of the Negro National League and includes such stars as Oscar Charleston, Cool Papa Bell, Satchel Paige, John Henry Lloyd, Martin DeHigo, and Judy Johnson. So that was a passage from this book, The Lively Ball, Baseball in the Roaring '20s. And that was about the Negro Leagues. You know, much of what we know about the Negro Leagues is kind of inconsistent. You know, the stats weren't kept great. Just a lot of things. It just wasn't as kept as the major leagues, and because of that, a lot of the stats went to oblivion. They're not there. So as you can see, like in this painting right here, Josh Gibson, watch me use this, had almost 800 home runs. Now, we know exactly how many home runs Babe Ruth hit, but like it says, Josh Gibson had almost 800. You know, whatever. But these guys were definitely good enough to play in the major leagues. Now, if you didn't know, you see right up here, Josh Gibson was called the Black Babe Ruth. And in some circles, Babe Ruth was called the White Josh Gibson, if you didn't know that. And so Josh Gibson was definitely known. He was a great player. And he could have been a major league player. But unfortunately, he died 3 months before Jackie Robinson made it, and he was only 36 years old. So it's a big tragedy how he died, and I believe it was a brain aneurysm that he passed from. So you guys know that I'm inspired by baseball cards. That's kind of like, that's where my baseball art stems from. Is you know, just growing up looking at baseball cards. I received a lot of information. I mean, you figure out where the player's from, where they live currently, you know, heights, weights, and a lot of times on the back of the card it gives you something, you know, maybe non-baseball, you know, like an activity that they do in the off season or what have you. So you get to know the player from baseball cards, and believe it or not, baseball cards are sometimes the only thing besides watching a game that a person has connection to that player. So it's a pretty cool hobby to be in, and for me it inspired art, you know, and I think that's where this little segment I have is going, is to attack your passions, you know what I mean? Like, if you do kung fu, go kick some ass in kung fu. If you like to ride bikes, go ride bikes, but you got to have something besides your work. You know, you go to your work, and sometimes that's forced because you got to pay those bills. So when you're not there, do something for yourself. Be selfish in that way. You know what I'm saying? Like your kids will notice when you're happy, and you're happy doing the things that you like. So do more of that. And I think I'm going to leave it right there. Have fun. My name's Bill Cormales, Jr. for Modern Baseball Art. Please check out my website at billcormalesjr.com. I do a lot more than baseball artwork, so please check that out. And it's good to talk to you guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye.